You didn't think I forgot about you, did you?
Friday midnight at 12:05 on Pearl.
Welcome back. We're at the halfway stage of the women's basketball between China and the United States. And China, unfortunately, at the moment on the end of a pasting at the hands of the defending Olympic champions from the Athens Games and also the Sydney Olympics as well. Both those finals pitting the US against Australia. So China with an Australian coach in Tom Ma, not having much success at the moment. Again, you can get a good coach, you can get a bit of money behind you, but you've got to have the players to meld into a good team.
And just the size and the extreme ability of the Americans, I think, at this stage. I mean, it's a great wall, isn't it, of defence that the Americans have put up, and really the Chinese throwing everything at them. The Chinese did extremely well against the Spanish side the other week, or the other night, I think, Andrew, but really against the Americans, it's a completely different scenario out there, and even their captain throwing everything at them, the playmaker, but really nothing much working for them at this stage. Tom Ma, I think, has got some problems out there, as has Michelle Timms, who's assisting him as well, a couple of Aussies, but really, under the circumstances, I think Team USA very powerful tonight. China will be battling, but we'll enjoy perhaps some more of that a little bit later on this evening.
We'll have that coming up, of course, but before that, we will continue our coverage of the tennis match we were showing before the news, Zheng of China against Agnes Szabo of Hungary. So we had to leave that. So we're now going to play you back the last few games. And Brendan, an unusually long encounter for a three-set match.
Well, we were here hours ago, it seems, Andrew, and I just couldn't believe it. Zheng, she really did have this game by the scruff of the neck at one stage, and then she just seemed to, I don't know, she just let things go, she let it slip, she let the Hungarian girl come back at her, and really it was then just a series of exchanges, of breaks, of serve, unforced errors, people hitting balls long, trying to change up their game plans. Szabo then took the initiative, equalled things up, got the second set, and so we're now into the deciding third set. We're into the 11th game, 15 all, and the young Hungarian serving to this girl from China, who is probably these days considering herself more as a doubles specialist.
Well, she's a two-time Grand Slam doubles champion from the US Open and Wimbledon. That's what people seem to forget when she rocked up in the semi-finals of the Wimbledon singles competition this year, about how wonderful it was for China to make it that far. But of course, she already had quite a bit of pedigree behind her, a two-time Grand Slam winner, and making Wimbledon this year in the semis against Serena Williams and pushing the American, but not able to make it through. She really took some time off after Wimbledon as well to get ready for the Beijing Olympics. This, of course, a big event for her. It's the opening round here, the round of 64. Now, she should not really be pushing the world number 14 as hard as she is, because she's ranked 38 in the world.
Well, she was in this position about a set ago, and then all of a sudden she just seemed to sort of tense up on the match. And you might just be able to see in the background there that, in fact, they've been playing for some 2 hours and 40-odd minutes now. So a couple of break points against the Hungarian, and it looks like Zheng here has seen something, perhaps some of the crowd coming in a little bit late, or some movement behind the ball toss. So 2 break points and long. So now the Chinese girl has a look at the second serve. Now, she's gone down the centre tee on the occasions that we've seen her in the past. Let's see what she does here now. Well, another unforced error there gives the Chinese girl this crucial break late in the second or third set. And she's going to come out after this towel down to serve out this match.
Well, look at the sweat on Zheng. A good sign there of how much effort she's put into this. Now, a pan around the stadium there. You can see how low it is. Just a reminder, this match was not, surprisingly, in fact, played on centre court. Despite the fact that she's a big home favourite, they had to go with a regular draw. They couldn't play favourites when it came to sorting out who played where. So, being a first-round match, played out on court 1.
Well, Szabo had changed up a game plan. In the first set, she was prepared just to go sort of stroke for stroke from the baseline. But then second set, or late in the first, she started moving up and trying to get some net position, which was beginning to work for as well, just bringing the Chinese girl in as well. But it just seems that a series of unforced errors have led her to this position, and now we have Zheng here in a position to come out, and if she can hold serve, she's going to go through to the next round. But this has been a marathon effort. And again, I'm just not sure whether if you are a player, you necessarily want this in the first round of a major tournament like this, given the conditions here in Beijing. We've spoken about the humidity in the past and also the temperatures. The girls, of course, have played well into the evening here now. But,
well, it's a very good point, Brendan, because she's playing this match like a final, and you've got to wonder how much energy this is going to take out of her. Again, it's, you know, she's not playing the world number one, who isn't here, by the way. She pulled out of the tournament, Anna Ivanovic, with an injured thumb on Sunday, and she's gone back home.
Well, let's just see how brave she is now. Will she go for a big serves? Tend to poke a little bit at that one. She's going to have to really hit out, open up the shoulders and go for her shots, I think.
Again, you can just see taking the ball just a little bit early, virtually on every shot. Sometimes the gamble doesn't pay off and she gets a little bit too much oomph on it, like that time.
Yeah, she just sort of overplayed a little bit there, didn't she? She probably thought that she needed the depth on the ball. She certainly has, and it's given us some great percentages earlier on in the match. So she's going to have to get brave, go for these shots. Nice first serve, good, easy point. That's exactly what she wants at this stage. 157 clicks, but placement was everything there.
Zheng joined in the women's draw by China's other top singles player, Peng Shuai. Peng, in fact, winning her first round match already into the round of 32.
Look at the elapsed time here. Nearly 3 hours of play here on court number one. First round women's action. Zheng just 2 points away from going through to the next round. Good deep hitting by the Chinese.
And that brings up match point for Zheng. And she's got 2 match points, in fact. Well, finally, they are up to close to 3 hours. Really quite incredible. 3 hours for a first round, best of 3 set match. It's been absolute trench warfare out here between these two. And now she has 2 chances to put it away and move into the round of 32.
She went for the big serve down the tee. Let's have a look at the second serve. She's got a couple of points up her sleeve.
Oh, and that's out. So, Zheng, who made the semi-finals of Wimbledon this year, looking to do something which, in her opinion, is far more important and win a gold medal for China in the singles competition here at the 19th Olympiad. So
an amazing match this. It was one of a series of contrasts. It looked like the Chinese player was going to wrap it up within 2 sets. We'll take a break, and when we do, at the other side of the break, we'll come back with some basketball.
In fact, I think we might just come back here first for a second. And Brandon, just watching that match, the closing stages, it just seemed to go on and on. There were a lot of unforced errors, particularly from the Hungarian. Zheng, though, with a world ranking of 38, playing a player ranked 14th in the world, credit to her for hanging on as tightly as she did.
Well, I thought the Hungarian played pretty well as well. I mean, she was out-hit in the first set. She changed up her game plan. She tried to attack the net, which worked initially at least, but then she seemed to get a little bit more defensive. Zheng then got the upper hand, and she was able to close it out in that all-important third set. But yeah, Well, it was a match, I'm sure, that will probably put her in good stead. I wonder whether she really needed nearly 3 hours on court under those sorts of conditions in the first round. Perhaps it'll play out a few nerves and set her up for later in the tournament. But quite frankly, I think she probably should have wrapped that one up in straight sets.
Well, we're going to go back to the basketball, the women's match between China and Team USA in just a moment. Again, from what we've seen, a good example that, you know, you can have a passionate home crowd, you can have home court advantage, you can have a good foreign coach.
Of Hungary. And here we see the replay, a good return here, but somehow Zheng overhitting that backhand and allowing Xiaowei to hold serve. Both girls getting some fluid in. Very easily here in the heat and humidity in Beijing to dehydrate, and not necessarily for this match, but they would want to make sure they're hydrated so that they are ready for the further rounds of the tennis tournament. And yes. So here we are, and we are now at the end of this transmission. We're going to soon break to the news at 8 p.m. and we'll be showing tennis at after that, together with the basketball. So taking a break here from the tennis stadium, breaking for the news.